the intellectual judgments. This is the meaning of their saying that the religion only comes with what is approved by the intellect. What we said right here. And he, the exalted, has the power to dispatch messengers and to reveal books and to manifest miracles that prove those prophets truthful and to resurrect the dead and to gather those resurrected ones and reward who obeyed and punish those who disobeyed. All of that came in the book. We said, this is all possible. And then we said, all of that came in the book. This is the meaning of their saying that the religion only comes with what is approved by the intellect. Yani, it means the intellect has three judgments: necessary, possible, and impossible. Whatever the intellect judges, whatever goes into any of those categories, the religion is accurate there. So there's nothing, if the mind deems something intellectually impossible, then the religion doesn't deem it possible. Or if the mind deems something necessary, the religion does not deny that it's necessary to the mind. The religion only comes with what is approved by the intellect, and the intellect is the religion's witness. It's not its proof, it's the witness. Also, there is nothing in any practical rules, like wudu invalidators, capital punishments, slavery, war, or anything else that is impossible to the intellect. Then there's also some other judgments besides these three. They're not mental judgments, though. Judgments such as valid, invalid. These things are also not invalid in the mind. All these cases we mentioned here, wudu invalidators, like some of the allegorists said. Why would I wash my face if I pass gas from my backside? So that's a fallacy. And there's nothing in the mind that deems this impossible or wrong or invalid. There's nothing in the mind that invalidates the obligation of washing the face because of passing gas from the backside. That's not invalidated by the mind in any way whatsoever. Rather, if Allah willed for it to be obligatory, it will be obligatory. If He willed for it not to be obligatory, it will not be obligatory. The capital punishments, how should one be punished? Yani, we're not going to say, for example, that's barbarianism or whatever different words those people say. And really, those are very wise, those punishments, very wise. Yani, then what did they do once they put those, once they have that incarceration system like that? Then they profit from it. So they became motivated to put people in there too. Yani, that prison system is also a result of not having proper capital punishments. Those capital punishments are very wise for many reasons, and among them is that they keep a lot of costs down. Because I don't know how much it costs to chop a man's hand off and send him home. Don't think it costs that much, though. You got to pay the guy who chops his hand off if he's not volunteering. And slavery, which is wise, that's slavery there. MashaAllah. And it's not something that anyone should be afraid of there. It's easy argument. If you go to war and you win, what are you going to do? Let them go? Behead them all? Put them in prison and then support them? What do you want to do with them? Well, they will rather put them in prison and then support them and then complain about their taxes. No. That's not to say that you can enslave these people in prison. No. Yani, because which going to be your options? If you went to war and then you defeated your enemy, now what are you going to do? You have your options. You can kill them, you can let them go, you can imprison them, or what? Or you can keep them and benefit from them. And so they abolished for themselves. They abolished keeping them, those prisoners, and enslaving them. So what's left? Killing them. They abolished that one too, for the most part. And what did we say? Letting them go. I guess you're going to let them go and then complain and say, these guys are insurrectionists. We can't stop them. They keep popping up out of everywhere. Or what? Or imprison them. And they do that. They imprison them. And they're going to keep them for years and pay for them a lot of money. Those one prisoner costs a lot of money. It costs more money to house a prisoner for a day than it costs you to just live normally. Just like if you have a job and a car and an apartment and stuff, and you pay your light bill and all that, that's nothing compared to how much it costs to house one prisoner every day. And not just that, more. There's more arguments for that, but from there you can go. So yeah, war, let's not go into that now so we can stay on the book here. Or anything else. Any other religious judgments, all of it, there's nothing that goes against the mind. Nothing about that is impossible to the intellect. That is because there are three intellectual judgments: necessary, impossible, and possible. Necessary means what the mind says must exist. Non-existence for it is invalid. Impossible means what the mind says cannot exist, and existence for it is invalid. So those are opposites. Necessary and impossible are opposites, not possible and impossible. Possible is in the middle. Well, let's say it this way. Necessary and impossible are polar opposites. Polar opposites. And then there's one in the middle. Possible, which means it could exist or it could be non-existent. Necessary must exist. Impossible cannot exist, and possible might exist or might not exist. As for what is good or bad, or right or wrong, that is by religious judgment, not intellect or opinion. Those three judgments we just mentioned, those judge what? Existence. Not good or bad, not right or wrong, existence. As for what's good or bad, or right or wrong, that is by religious judgment, not intellect or opinion. Indeed, Abraham was commanded to slaughter his son, and that was good. Then it was abrogated. Also, a direct son of Adam could marry his sister who was not his twin. That was good. Then it was abrogated, etc. Prophet Yaqub, in his law, you could marry two sisters at the same time. Therefore, the good or bad is what the religion deems good or bad. Well, there's an Arabic word here in the text. فَالْحَسَنُ مَسْتَحْسَنَهُ الشَّرْعُ وَالْقَبِيحُ مَسْتَقْبَحَهُ الشَّرْعُ. That's a mas'ala there. They use those words. Al-Hasan wal-Qabih. It's pretty much on the level of morals. What's really morally good is what the religion said is morally good. And what's morally bad is what the religion said is morally bad. If Allah abrogates that judgment, then what was morally good became morally bad by the religion. Or you can throw the word morals out altogether and just say it's what the religion said. The good and the bad is what the religion said. That doesn't deny, though, that the mind has aversion. If a person has normal mind, he has aversion to some behaviors, like killing people, for example, or just like torturing animals, for example. He would, but he doesn't have a proof that it's wrong. He doesn't have a proof. He has something that makes him not want to do it. It tells him something in himself, tell him not to do it, and he might disobey that and do it anyway. He is not his attributes, nor other than them, and they are not him, nor other than him. It is not valid to be said about the attributes of the eternal, glorified one, that they are him, or that they are another, nor that his attributes are not him. You can't say that. Or not another. All those you can't say. Nor that his attributes conform to him, or oppose him, nor that his attributes are distinct from him, or bound to him, or contact him, or disconnect from him, or that they resemble him, or do not resemble him. All those statements you cannot say. Rather, it is necessary that it be said that his attributes are his, existing because he exists, yani confirmed for him, confirmed for himself, and special to him. We only said that they are not him because had these attributes been him, it would not be valid that he be knowledgeable or powerful. Yani, that he would have these descriptions, or that he would be attributed with any attribute. That is because knowledge would not be knowledgeable, and power would not be powerful, nor have any attribute. We already said an attribute doesn't have an attribute. Anything that leads to a beginningless chain is invalid. That's an absolute rule. Anything that leads to a beginningless chain is invalid. Yani, this whole dunya is a place. Then we're not going to say that all the creation, the whole creation in totality is, it is a place. We're not going to say that's in a place. Because then you're going to say, then that one's in a place, and then that one's in a place, and then you'll keep going forever. In an absolute sense, it's not valid to say a place has a place. Meaning, when the Wahhabi asks you, then where's the place? So he means in broad sense. Where's the place? So then he's going to say, I encountered one Wahhabi who did this. He's going to say, you're basically saying that the world exists without a place. And therefore, the world is like Allah. Because according to you, he's saying, you said Allah exists without a place. Where's the place? So the answer is, Allah exists without a place. And as for the place, it is itself a place. So it's not going to be in a place. Rather, it is independent. It has its own independent standing. That's why some scholars said they define place as bu'dun qa'imun bi nafsihi, a self-existing expanse. Place is a self-existing expanse. And that's why there has to be an indivisible particle. Indivisible one. Or else you're going to say that you can take an object and just reduce it forever. That basically means there's a beginningless chain. It leads to a beginningless chain. Because you're reducing it. You're reducing it down. It has to start from somewhere. That's what they're denying. It has to have a fundamental piece. That's the indivisible part. If there is no indivisible part, that means there's no fundamental piece. There's no beginning. Just to say that every piece can be split forever, it's a way to get to saying the world is eternal. And we did not say that his attributes are other than him, because other means something else. And different individuals could validly depart each other in time, place, existence, or non-existence. Since that is impossible concerning the self and attributes of God, it was impermissible to deem him different from his attributes. And stop there. Just to say that much and stop there. That's not valid. And we simultaneously negated that his attributes are him or other than him, because to only negate one of those is to confirm the other. And either alone is impossible. And we said that his attributes do not conform to him, or oppose him, or are distinct from him, or resemble him, because any of those statements would mean that his attributes are something else, different from him. And that would then mean that it is valid that he exists without his attributes, and his attributes could exist without him. And that is all impossible. So when we say that statement, Allah is not his attributes, nor is he other than his attributes, or Allah's attributes are not him, nor are they other than him, that statement, you can't go further than that. That's one of the limits of our minds. And some scholars said the name Allah comes from waliha. Waw, lam, ha. Waliha, it means tahayyara. to be confused. They said the name of Allah comes from a meaning in language of confusion, because they said the human being, if he ponders on God's existence, he becomes baffled. Yani we can't know his reality. Waliha, they said the name Allah is derived from waliha, wow lam ha, then the wow flipped into a hamza. Waliha means tahayyara, to be confused. So they're saying the significance of that, why would the name of the creator come from a word that means confusion? They said because when one thinks about God, he becomes baffled. This religion guided us to know that this statement we just studied. Allah is not his attributes, nor is he other than his attributes. That's the statement of those old masters from centuries ago, who Allah enlightened them, and then they made it easy for us. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam drew alert to this in the hadith of Imran ibn Husayn, when he said Allah existed and there was nothing other than him. This confirms his attributes and negates them being different from him. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.